Hello Aries, welcome to your January 2019 reading. Thank you for joining me. This is for Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Before I get started, I just wanted to mention I have my 2019 12-month year ahead forecasts, and those are on my Vimeo channel, so if you're interested you can check out the link below in the descriptions box. Okay Aries, a little bit of challenging energy for you for the start of the year. From Mystical Moments you've drawn the card of Stranded. Now you'll see this young sailor here, stranded with his ship on a tall tree. He needs his anchor, this anchor here, to help him get back down to earth. The card asks, how did the ship get there? At times we feel we may have found ourselves in situations that we can't quite understand, and this is the energy around this card. It's about misdirection, misjudgment and a fear of failure. Sometimes we feel we may have made mistakes because their expectations are so high, or we could set ourselves up for failure. We can either beat ourselves up over our performance or become so intimidated that we don't really try. Failure is a necessary part of success, as important to the journey as a rudder on a ship. From Vintage Wisdom you've pulled the card of Surrender. Now the message with this one here, Aries, you'll see this this woman standing motionless in a moment of realization, and she has these butterflies coming out to her. So that the card is one of transformation and renewal, embracing change, stepping bravely into the unknown and surrendering what you are for what you could become. Now, by drawing this card, the universe is highlighting possible resistance and attachments in need of your attention. You may have reached an impasse within a challenging predicament, or perhaps you're struggling to maintain control within a situation. So Aries, if you're satisfied that you can do no more in a particular challenging situation, now may be a good time to let go and surrender. So we'll see where this goes. It seems to me like you may have, either you, Aries, or someone around you has gotten themselves into a bit of predicament here. And they may be need to surrender something. So we'll see where it goes. I'm going to leave this as the overall energy. And for your energy, Aries, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck. And for the person that you're thinking about, I'm going to be using the After Tarot. So let's get started. I've already meditated on your energy, so I'll do one more shuffle for Aries, and then we will focus in on the past energy. We'll spend a brief time there. So what have you brought to this situation in the past, Aries? What has Aries brought to this situation in the past? The Page of Cups. So something new, brand new. There's a naivety to this. A young person. You may be a young person, or you may have an energy of being young at heart, but there is naivety behind it. A sense of inexperience is what I'm picking up. So inexperience when it comes to love and romance. Let's see what the other person has brought to this situation in the past. What has the other person brought to this situation in the past? What has this other person brought to this situation in the past? Oh, the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, so they may be coming out of something that has been quite challenging for them. I'm sensing that there's something that may have been kept hidden, potentially. There seems to be some kind of, could be a mental challenge, anguish of some kind, perhaps even depression, feeling low, stress or anxiety. Very much energy here of somebody overcoming or wanting to overcome. You'll see this figure in the bed here, and he has this sword drawn, and there's a dragon above him, so there's a sense of slaying the dragon. So whatever the dragon is, and it can be so many things, fear, addiction, usually something that is troubling energy. So it seems like whoever this other person is, and the energies can be vice versa. There's a sense of innocence on one side of the equation here. The other person, I think, has perhaps some troubles that they're trying to overcome. Let's take a look and see where you currently stand here with this situation, Aries. And I have you at the bottom of the deck. Where does Aries currently stand in this situation? Three of Swords. Okay. Potential for heartbreak here. Possibly an ending of some kind. Could be a third party situation. But more often I feel with this one it is about potential for there to be some kind of pain associated with the relationship. Let's see where the other person currently stands. Where does this other person currently stand in this situation? Okay. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Fool in reverse. Okay. Now with this one, it seems like there is potential here for someone not to be on the same page as the other. The Fool in reverse, I get that as someone who's not ready to venture forward into a new relationship, with that Ace of Cups in reverse. Perhaps there is unrequited love here, or a situation where there is not enough love to move this forward. I get an energy of, I pick it up more as a sense of either it's more of a one-sided energy. Somebody is looking at this quite innocent with a lot of love, and on the other hand there doesn't seem to be quite as much invested into this situation. Let's see where you hope to stand with this in the future, Aries. Where does Aries hope to stand with this in the future? This situation, where does Aries hope to stand in the future with this? Where does Aries hope to stand? You have the Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Wands in reverse. So Aries, when it comes to something long term, I feel like you're looking, you would like this to be something that has potential for growth. With the Five of Wands in reverse, so it does tell me that you perhaps, well, unfortunately the energy that I'm picking up here for you, Aries, is something starts innocently, and then I think something happens where you get your heart broken. This may be happening now, or in the near future, or just recently in the past. But in the future I see you as potentially wanting to come out of conflict, to find peace with this person, and for a new start. Now whether it's with this same individual or with another person, or just starting over in general, we shall see. But let's see what this other person where they hope to stand with you in the future, Aries. Where does this other person hope to stand with Aries in the future? Where does this other person hope to stand? Whoa. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Swords. You know, the thing that I get with this is this person is not really looking for a long-term relationship. The Four of Pentacles in reverse tells me that someone is not really holding on or valuing this relationship. The Five of Swords tells me that there's a sense of conquest here. Potentially someone just, unfortunately, for some of you it may be someone who is using someone's naivety for their own selfish needs. But in any event, I don't feel like the future energy around them is very good. when it comes to you, Aries. And of course this can flip out and be the other way around, but I think the main thing about this is it seems to be unrequited love that is not going to progress to the next level, and unfortunately I get an energy around this other person of someone who just wants to conquest, is not really valuing the relationship. Now let's take a look and see where you, well, let's look and see how you view this person, Aries. How is Aries viewing this person? 7 of Swords. How is Aries viewing this person? How does Aries view this person? How does Aries view this person? And Temperance. I think you view this person as a potential escape. You want peace, you want balance. It seems to me that this is more your energy of someone that you are viewing as possibly, and this is a little bit cliche, but like completing you with Temperance, because it's very much that balanced energy. You see this woman here has 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the ground. So when it comes to emotion, it is about being balanced. And I feel for you that you're looking at this person as someone who can bring this to you, this sense of balance into your life, completeness, and you're also looking at it as some kind of escape from something. Maybe looking at this as an answer to a problem. Let's look and see what this other person, how they're viewing this. How they're viewing you, Aries. How is this person viewing Aries? How is this other person viewing Aries, please? The Lovers. Okay. How is this other person viewing Aries? And the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So how they're viewing you, we have the Lovers card. So this does seem to be about a love relationship. And they're viewing you as someone who's making an important choice, a decision, possibly weighing up your options when it comes to important life decisions. And it does involve love as well. But it can also potentially mean really any kind of major life choice. So they're seeing you as someone who is currently looking at your options when it comes to major life choices, and I get you, Aries, as someone here who is just starting out or starting over, starting afresh, and you're in that stage of life where you're needing to make some important decisions. And it seems like you may be viewing this other person as some form of escape. Now when it comes to your doubts and fears, what are Aries' doubts and fears, please? Doubts and fears for Aries. Doubts and fears for Aries. 8 of Swords, so feeling restricted. So I do get this sense that you're looking at this relationship as some means of escape, freedom. So I think that the main thing that you're fearing here is not getting that freedom and remaining restricted in some way. There's something that you're feeling trapped by. It may be circumstantial, it may be a mental energy, because what I get with the 8 of Swords, it's more about what I'm picking up here for you, Aries. It's more about potentially self-sabotage, really. Self-sabotage. I don't think you're actually restricted in any way, but you're viewing yourself as restricted. Let's see what the doubts and fears for the other person is. Okay. they have the 8 of Wands. So they're fearing something happening quickly, swift movement. Okay. So they may be someone here who is, and this can flip the opposite way around, remember Aries, so keep that in mind, but there's one person here that is trying to rush a relationship. They're viewing it as an escape. The other person, though, is doubtful, fearful of things moving too quickly, doesn't seem to have the same emotional investment, possibly because they're coming out of a situation that has been difficult for them in some way, mentally challenging. And there is more of an energy around them as someone who may be seeking to take some kind of advantage, possibly of youth, inexperience, circumstances, this escape energy. Let's have a look at your challenge. Oh, that's not it. Let's see what the challenge is for Aries. Challenge for Aries. 7 of Wands. Okay, your challenge is to remain on guard, to not be so open as to let someone potentially, I get not a great energy around them as someone who's possibly using someone. I get conquest, I get selfish kind of reasons, not really valuing the relationship, but using it to, well, I get conquest, using it as a conquest here. So for you, your challenge is to remain vigilant, to stand up for yourself, not let anyone take advantage of you. Aries, very much a defensive, a need to remain defensive. Red flag here for you, Aries. Let's see what the challenge is for the other person. What is the challenge for the person that Aries is thinking of here? What is the challenge for the person that Aries is thinking of? Okay. We have the 7 of Swords and the Tower. You know, I get escape on both sides here. For you, Aries, I feel it's more about escaping from something that you're viewing as a restricted energy. It may be a circumstance that you're wanting to remove yourself from, to get freedom, liberation, is what I'm picking up for you. For the other person, though, their 7 of Swords energy is more about wanting to escape from some kind of problem. With this 9 of Swords and the Tower, I think that there's something around them that they are needing to leave behind that is destructive in some way. And it could be any one of a number of things, but it could be a behavior, something that they're trying to escape from. It'll be different for everyone, but I think the main thing to pick up from this Aries is that whatever this energy is, with the Tower and the 7 of Swords with them, something that they're trying to escape from, some kind of destructive energy around them, is a need for you to be on guard against this. It may be that they have the potential to, is kind of a, be a destructive force by leaving you behind. It may be that. Let's take a quick peek at the outcome, and then we'll continue this in part 2. Lots to clarify, Aries, so I hope that you join me there if this is resonating. Part 2 will be available on the extended version. Let's have a quick peek at your outcome, and then we'll go to part 2. Sneak peek here at the outcome for Aries. Oh, those went flying. We have the 9 of Swords and The Lovers, yeah, well, red flags here, Aries, when it comes to this person. Potential for heartbreak, pain involved. Let's see what the outcome is for the other person. Potential outcome for the person that Aries is thinking of. The World in reverse, so something remaining. Seems to be something unfinished for them. What is it? And we also have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I pick up them as... I think that they're in a cycle that they're not finished with yet, something to do with looking at potentially a lot of options. They may be coming out of something here where they have felt a lot of stress and pain in the past. Potentially a red flag here for you, Aries, that this person may just be looking at you as someone to get them out of a escape from a bad situation. And I do get the energy around them as someone who's still looking at other options as well. So we'll continue this in part 2. I do think that there's something here with these cards of stranded and surrender, of you perhaps getting yourself into a predicament, or someone around you, Aries, getting themselves into a predicament that's become quite challenging. And I think that there's something that needs to be let go of here. So we'll see where this goes in part 2. I hope that you join me there, Aries. The link will be below in the descriptions box, and that will be on my Vimeo channel. If I don't see you there, then I wish you all the best for the rest of January, and if this is you, please remain on guard against getting your heart broken here. And I will speak to you again very soon for the mid-January readings. Bye for now, Aries.